Hi, and welcome to Difference Makers, the show about nonprofits that are changing the world. I'm your host, Marc Stoecker. We're passionate about enhancing community awareness through the stories of your national, state, and local nonprofits and charities. Come join us and learn more about these incredible organizations, get inspired, and discover ways to get involved. Today's guest is Robert Jackson, Executive Director of Broll Media and Arts, a local area nonprofit. Welcome to the show, Robert.
Thank you, Mark.
Can you take a moment to tell us a little bit about your organization?
Sure thing. Broll Media and Arts is a Maryland-based nonprofit providing service for the Washington Metro DC area to provide media and arts training for kids 13 to 21. The whole idea is to start an organization to teach kids media and arts and to help them learn, as well as to give them a direction in a career path.
Oh, great. What inspired you to start the organization?
Well, when I was young, I came up in the DC public school system, and because I didn't learn like everyone else, I was put in the category of what they call the basic track system. What that meant is that I was, according to them, dumb, and it affected me throughout my development as a child. It affected my self-esteem. It affected my confidence. And so what I had to learn, or what I did to compensate for that, is to overachieve. And I did that by trying to learn everything I could, as much as I could. I suffer from what they call now I know it's called dyslexia. During the time I went to grade school, dyslexia was not even thought about or dealt with on the school level. So what I decided to do is start an organization that could address how kids learn differently. And media and arts, I saw what it did in my life as far as providing the type of confidence building tools that I was able to get, as well as provide me with an opportunity to make a very good living.
Oh, that's great. Did you have any mentors or individuals that inspired you in addition to what we learned on your own about the condition?
Yeah, I think I did. I'm pretty sure no one stands out in my mind as far as being a mentor. There were organizations that I were involved in. I played sports, I played music, I got involved in photography. So there were, as a whole, I think the community helped support me because I was involved in the drum and bugle corps that traveled around the country. It's in Southeast Washington, D.C., where it was formed. There were instructors there from the military that provided us with positive direction and influence. So I think it was a combination of a lot of different mentors and a lot of different influences that shaped where I am now.
That's great. Can you tell me a little bit more about the programs at Broll Media?
Broll Media and Arts, as I said, is a nonprofit. We provide media and arts training. That training can consist of TV and radio production. It can audio engineering, photography, dance, music. The whole idea, as I mentioned earlier, I looked at how media and arts played a role in my development. And it was very important for me to have something that I could grab a hold of and take ownership and feel good about. And media and arts allowed me to do that. The whole idea behind that thinking is that if that could help me, if media and arts could help me develop because of the learning disability that I had and that I still have, I still deal with dyslexia, then I felt that it could touch a young person's life. And the whole idea is to touch a young person and help them along the way.
Oh, great. That's very inspiring.
Thank you.
What are some of the current projects and your team and students are working on, and can you share an example or story involving some of the kids?
That's sure. We are currently in the process of putting together our curriculum for the fall. September, the 27th of September, we are planning 2 classes. we're going to have a audio engineering studio recording class. I'm excited about that class because I have some pretty dynamic instructors that will be teaching that class. We're going to be doing that class at a local studio. It's a trademark studio in the recording industry. It's called Line and Fox Recording. It's in College Park, Maryland. Jim Fox is one of the premier reggae and jazz recording engineers in the country. He's being brought from. They bring him to Jamaica, to all the Caribbean islands to record all the reggae artists there, and we'll be doing a 32-hour 4-session class at Line and Fox. We'll also be doing a backpack journalism class here at Village Connector Media, where we're going to work with kids in the community, in different communities, where they will, we will teach them how to script stories. We'll teach them how to do storyboards. We'll teach them how to put those stories together, go out in the community and shoot footage of those stories and tell their story, and bring it back, and we'll then show them how to put it together via desktop editing using probably Final Cut Pro or Adobe Premiere, depending on what the instructor at that point uses. But the point is that these kids would learn state-of-the-art TV video production. And so I'm excited about those two classes that's coming up in September. In the past, we've had audio engineering class. Later on in the show, you'll see some footage from that. I brought a video with me, that promotional video that highlights that class, as well as a TV production class that we did here at Village Media Connector, Village Connector Media TV. And we also had a media expo in downtown Silver Spring, Maryland, that the kids live streamed, and they did all the production for that video, for the Media Day production. And what that production was, it was B-Roll Media and Arts Stepping Out Party, where we introduced our organization to the community. We had teachers from around the community. We had community grassroots community leaders. We had politicians. The idea was to let people know what we do, and to expose not only the community to our organization, but to the whole world, because the media expo was live streamed on the internet, and it was seen around the world.
Oh wow! Yeah, it sounds like your organization does a lot to support the local communities through events like that one.
That's true.
Can you think of other examples you'd like to share, or other projects in the works that you'd like to share related to that?
Yes, we have partnered up with a couple of the public schools in Maryland, Benjamin Tasker in Bowie, Maryland. We work with their students they have a media lab where they do a morning news show every morning, highlighting the day's activities. We work with those students, giving them fundamentals of how to do a news show. We work with another high school in Bowie, Maryland, Bowie High School. We, as well, they have a media labs program as well, and we work with those kids to bring them up to speed on how to produce their own TV shows within their school viewing audience. We have a couple spokesmen that we depend on to get the word out. One is a very prominent businessman in Maryland. His name is Paul Reed-Smith. He has a company called PRS Guitars. Paul has a facility in Annapolis, Maryland, where he makes his guitars are world renowned. He's a spokesman for B-Roll Media and Arts, and he supports what we do, as well as a lot of the local politicians around Howard County and in the Maryland area.
Okay. Wow. I understand that you have a clip that you had mentioned a moment ago that you'd like to share with us today. Can you kind of set the stage for it before we watch it?
Sure. This is a short promotional video that we put together, highlighting several of the activities that our students went through. One is the audio engineering class. Another one is the TV production class that we did here at Village Connector Media. We also have footage from the Media Day Expo where the kids got their certificates for participation and certificates of completion for their participation in the TV production class that we offered.
Okay, well then, how about we go ahead and go to that clip and take a look.
One deuce. Kick, snare, hi-hat. Get up, get on up, hey. Get up, get on up, get up, get on up. But you don't like her, her. You don't like her.
Broll has provided my students with an opportunity to learn about TV, media, producing, directing, audio, and engineering. And so it exposes them to all the aspects and the careers involved in video and audio production.
You get to like be hands-on and just like actually press buttons and switch things, and it kind of all comes together.
So what this does is it reflects that green against the screen, and it reads green for the camera.
I think my daughter is capable of being anything she wants to be out there, and she had told me she's very excited about this program.
As you get to know the tools of the media trade, you can look more critically at what you see, and then you can turn around and use those tools to get people to do what you want, which hopefully will be for the power of good.
This is the last class of an 8-week class, and we'd just like to recognize them with some certificates.
Well, that was a great video, Robert. Were the students involved in the production of that?
Wow, I get chills every time I watch that video. No, one of my board members, Jonathan Gruber, he was involved in putting that promotional video together. The students were highly involved in the production of the events that we did, which you saw. The last event where the students got their certificates, that was the Media Expo that I spoke of in downtown Silver Spring, our coming out party.
Okay.
They live streamed, they did all the production work for live streaming that event. Not only that event, but there were 2 other events that they live streamed as well. A STEM initiative competition that we are heavily involved in. Are you familiar with the STEM initiative, the science, technology, engineering, and math programs that the President Obama introduced in 2008 to get our kids more involved in those disciplines?
I've heard of it, but I'm not a STEM expert, I have to admit.
Yeah, it's pretty exciting. It's a buzzword now where a lot of the educational institutions are adopting that approach to get kids involved in those disciplines. And we are involved with organizations that specialize in STEM technology to have kids, because everything we do too, media and arts, falls under the science, technology, engineering, and math. I mean, you know, photography is heavily math influenced, engineering in audio as well as video. So, and mathematics, you know, we use math in everything we do, you know, all day long. So, we try to make sure that we cover all of those disciplines in our classes as well.
Oh, great. Can you, speaking of the students, can you kind of describe your typical student or your students to me, and what makes a student successful as a member of Broll Media and Arts?
Well, I think that any young person that wants to to learn about media and arts, or wants to increase their self-esteem or build their self-confidence, is a prime candidate for B-roll media. We are looking to get students as young as 11 years old, and we as old as 21 years old. And there's a big range in between. We go after middle school and high school students. A lot of times, middle school students are the best students because they are not preoccupied with graduation, getting ready to go into college, or career planning so much as seniors or juniors in high school are. So the idea is if we can influence a young person's development from the standpoint of maybe I want to do this for a living, or maybe I just enjoy doing this as a hobby, it will give them a focus, an opportunity to focus on something that I feel to be that will be very beneficial to them in life, in their life skills.
Okay. Would you say that I understand from a little bit of research I did that dance is another focus area outside of the arts. Can you maybe expand on that a little bit?
Well, dance is one of the arts. I felt that in order to cover as broad a spectrum as we could, we wanted to offer the young people an opportunity to for a lot of different things. We wanted to because let's face it, everybody's not going to want to do audio. Everybody's not going to want to do video. Dance is a way to self-express, and it's also a way for fitness. So we felt that if we could get kids active and get them off the couch and get the video game controllers out of their hand and have them doing physical activity, it would be a lot better for them health-wise as well. Music is another part of one of the arts that we focus on as well, because, as I said, music was very important to my development, and it was important that we have a well-rounded approach to offering a few different disciplines to the students.
Okay. How much are the classes? Do they typically run?
Well, that's the whole idea. The idea is to keep the classes free.
Okay.
We wanted to make sure that money was not an object to keep a kid away from what we were doing.
That's great.
The idea is to get corporate sponsorships, to get underwriting, to get charitable donations to cover the expenses for our organization. When a kid comes in to learn, whether it's media or arts, we don't expect them to have to pay for those services. If we do have a part of our program where if the kids wanted to get more advanced, specialized instruction, we do have a paid portion for that. But the overall purpose of our organization is to provide free of charge media and arts training to young people.
Okay. Wow, that's a great benefit.
Yeah.
I remember growing up, I don't think we ever had that opportunity, so I think you're definitely providing a great service to a lot of people who may not have the opportunity to partake in the arts. Would you say your organization focuses on one area more than others, or would you say it's pretty balanced in terms of the music, the arts, the video? Just out of curiosity, I didn't know if there's more of a focus in a certain area based on the interest you've had from students.
Well, I would say that the majority of our classes that we've had so far have been dealing with the audio and video part of the spectrum. And that's mainly because of the board that I put together, the professionals. They're all industry professionals. My background is audio, TV, radio production, audio engineering. So consequently, the people that I've come across in my career have been people in those fields. So the first 4 or 5 classes that we've had have been geared more toward the audio and video area, because arts have been cut out in schools. We felt that it's very important to offer other disciplines as well, which would bring in music, photography, dance.
Okay, that makes a lot of sense. I'd like to talk about your organization some more. It's really been interesting, but I think we're actually going to end up taking a little bit of a break. So when we return, we'll explore more about B-Roll Media and Arts, and really look forward to continuing the discussion. Thanks, Robert.
Hi, I'm Carmen Booker, and I'm an attorney and also a nonprofit consultant. I have a business called CompuPerfect Professional Services, and we provide business and nonprofit consulting services. And this is my giving moment. Fan the flame to ignite others for your nonprofit cause. The key is, if you're excited and motivated about the cause in which you're raising funds for, then others are going to catch on. They're going to be motivated to support your cause and contribute financially to your nonprofit organization. But the key also is to have a winning fundraising plan. And that fundraising plan should include your mission, basically your reason for being, your financial goal. Why are you raising money? Is it for a particular project or just for operating costs? It should also include your financial goal. Are you trying to raise $50,000 in 6 months or $100,000 in a year? And also your targeted audience. Are you going to be targeting small businesses to raise funds, or particular groups of individuals? So the key is to have a winning fundraising plan. And if you need assistance with that, I can definitely help you.
And we're back. Well, Robert, I wanted to ask you maybe about a success story of one of your students or your students that have maybe gone on from your organization. Would you mind sharing a story such as that?
Of course. We have a young lady in our audio engineering class. You saw her testing the microphone. She was preparing to go to Berkeley School of Music when she took our class. And she took our class because she wanted to have a head start of understanding of audio engineering. And we just heard from her recently, and she was very, very happy that she took our class, because she said it helped her tremendously in preparing for Berkeley. That sticks out in my mind as, and quite frankly, all the kids are success stories because they complete the class. But Denise was that sticks out more in my mind a lot more, because she was able to use what she learned immediately from our instruction to her going and learning what she's now learning in Berkeley, and she plans to do that as a profession, to go into audio and music production as a profession.
That's great. I think one of the most important things about training and education, regardless of where you receive it, is the applicability. Can it be used, quickly? I think it sounds like that's a great example of that.
Yeah, it is.
Can you tell us a little bit about the folks that support your organization at B-Roll Media and Arts?
Sure. We have support from the community, obviously. We have support in the political arena as well, local and state political people, congressmen, senators, council people. We have, obviously, without the parents, we couldn't do what we do, because we need not only the support for the younger youth to get them to the classes and to get them to the activities that we have, but we also get financial support from parents as well. I think that the biggest obstacle, or not obstacle, but the biggest thing that we have to overcome is getting financial support. As I said, we keep these classes at a point where the youth don't have to pay, or the families of the youth don't pay. But as you know, there are operating costs for running any type of business.
Of course.
Because we have professional instructors and people that are professionals in the industry, we have to pay them for their services, as well as just general operating costs, administrative costs to run the organization. So what I'm in the process of doing now, and you know, it's very difficult going through the grant and donation area, because it's just so competitive. Everybody is just so, it's not a lot of grants and funding out there, and there's so many organizations that's going for these dollars. It's very difficult. So we depend on private donations. We depend on support. The people that's like-minded, that see what our mission is and want to support what we do.
Okay, great. What gets you excited about Broll Media and gets you up in the morning?
Well, to see a child learning is very exciting, and that's very beneficial for me. Because as I said, I knew and I know how difficult it was for me to learn, and I know that how much media and arts helped my development. So when we are having classes and when we are in a teaching mode, it really excites me to see kids learn, and the enthusiasm that they are feeling and getting, because as I said, it not only builds self-esteem and confidence, it also builds self-worth. Because I mean, how many young people do you know that don't want to do a demo, or want to do beats, or want to do make music in some way, or want to do a hip-hop tape, or do a video of something? I mean, so you know, we live in a medium now where everything is visual, and everything is, you know, people are getting the information a lot different than how we got it when we were growing up. You know, people are spending less time sitting in front of TV looking at local news or looking at shows. Now everybody has a mobile device where they just pull it out of their pocket and they get all the information there. So we are trying to prepare young people of what's coming up in the future, and how the content is being delivered and how the content is being received. And they are really excited to learn not only how they can be a part of that technology, but also how they can influence that technology.
Okay. Is some of the preparation also for distribution of the media to things like mobile devices, like a tablet or, you know, a mobile phone, or do you recommend maybe resources they can go to supplement the training if it's not included?
Well, in all of the video applications or the audio applications, we teach them the means of how to what we call posting their project, and in posting their project, we teach them how to make it compatible for mobile devices.
Okay.
There's not a lot of information around as far as just picking up a book and learning how do I, if I shoot something on my phone, then what do I do with it after that? How do I prepare it and make it so I can distribute it to a lot of other people? We work with them about along the lines of how to get that footage to a point where they can distribute it if they wanted to, or if they share it with their family, whatever they want to do with it. We have instructors that show them just a step-by-step process of how to do that.
Okay. Speaking of the instructors, can you share a little bit about your staff and maybe the instructors at Broll Media?
Sure. I have a dynamic board of directors that are, as I mentioned earlier, industry professionals in their own right. For the most part, they own their own businesses in the media. They've worked in major media outlets throughout their career. They are recording engineers. They are video professional editors. They are business coaches. They are mentors. So I handpicked and carefully put together a board of directors that could support me in my vision, but also support the youth in what we're trying to teach them. And so I feel very good about the board of directors that we have. And I just want to mention, if you know, in fear of missing someone or leaving out someone, there are 10 board members. But I encourage people to go to our website, which is www.B-Roll, R-O-L-L, media.org. And I just want to give you a brief explanation of what B-Roll Media B-Roll. Sure. I came up with that name because in the film industry back in the early days, there were two reels, an A reel and a B reel. The A reel had the feature film on it. The B reel had the PSAs or any kind of information that they wanted the viewers to see. That was called the B roll. It has morphed into the video world, where if you look at a news show and if you see a commentator or a reporter talking about a topic, the housing development, and then they will cut away to the show the housing development, that's called B-roll in the industry. Usually B-roll doesn't have any audio on it, it's just visuals. Hence, that's why I came up with the name B-roll, because it would give, if you in the industry, you would know what B-roll is, but if you weren't in the industry, it would spark the curiosity of what does B-roll mean. And I wanted people to have that curiosity to ask, and then we could tell them that how it relates to what our mission is, preparing our students for the future with media and arts.
Okay, great. Is there any other contact information you'd like to share with our viewers?
Yes, our website, as I said, and our phone number is area code 202-251-6247. That's area code 202-251-6247. Okay,
great. Well, I'd like to thank you for your time today, Robert. And I want to remind you all that anyone can be a difference maker. It just takes some time, effort, and belief that you can make a difference in others' lives and then take action to accomplish it. Thank you, and have a good evening.